Hello and welcome back to Irons United, which is proving to be a very busy month. Every single transfer window is very busy as a West Ham fan, and of course we have announced that we're going to be doing our regular transfer news updates. So it's the transfer show where players that are linked to West Ham, and we give you as much information as we possibly can find on the particular players, what we think they can bring to the side, what they've done in their past, where they've come from, etc. Of course, we have regular shows, which I have mentioned, and this evening you will be seeing Stell's weekly show, which will be giving you all the roundup. I think Stell's going to be talking approximately about 20 odd players that we are linked to and giving you some in-depth information on them. But to keep up with the theme of the transfer show, we are going to be talking about a couple of particular players that we are strongly linked to in this. It's short, sharp, and yeah, straight to the point. So let us know your thoughts, get your comments in below, hit the thumbs up. Of course, I am Anton, and I'll start with the Welsh international 29-year-old Joe Allen, who is rumoured to be a transfer target again for West Ham. Stoke are allegedly willing to let Allen go as they look to trim their wage bill, being in the Championship, and it looks like they're going to be there again this or for next season. So we could be in a position to land him for about £7 million. Now, according to some sources, David Sullivan under Moyes in 2018 tabled a £25 million bid for Joe Allen. So the fact that Stoke were willing to sell, given that they were battling against relegation, and then they tied Allen down to a new deal, but are facing, again, like I said, being in the Championship, that means he could move on, and it's no great surprise that West Ham and Moyes would reignite their interest, given that how much we need a midfielder. Of course, Mark Noble and Declan Rice, as I mentioned yesterday, have little competition in the heart of midfield, and Allen maybe would provide ability on the ball and also Premier League experience. With over 200 appearances in the Premier League between Swansea, Liverpool, Stoke, European experience, international experience, and over 150 appearances in the Championship, scoring 33 goals and assisting 32. He might not set pulses racing, but given that we could sign him for a fraction of the bid we potentially made for him a couple of years ago, it may be worth the cut price deal. Before he made his full debut for Swansea in the Carling Cup against, I think it was Walsall all those years ago, he was potentially laughed at by the opposition in the tunnel. But they certainly weren't laughing at full time after he was a man of the match in the 2-0 Swansea victory. And like a growing number in the game, they realised that there was a man in a boy's body. Underestimate him at your peril. Opposing players tried to bully him in the centre of the midfield, and he's certainly there to be shot as he gets his shirt pulled and one or two liberties taken, but he refuses to be intimidated. He never flinches away from any challenge, and anything that was there to be won, he won. He's developed an edge mentally, and his tenacity is one of the best attributes. When a player thought he's got away from him, he is swiftly reminded that they hadn't. He times his sliding tackles extremely well, particularly from the wrong side. Wiry and strong, he was physically more than a match for anyone who thought otherwise. He can head the ball, although given his height, it's not going to be one of his strengths. His game on the ground, however, more than compensates. The kid can play. He's good appreciation of a pass. He is neat and tidy on the ball, and with two good feet can go either way when opening things up. He is disciplined in his role, but he's also willing to break wide to the right time. Would this be a signing as a forward step? Get your comments in below, let me know your thoughts. I don't think it would be, but let's be realistic. West Ham fans, is Moyes stabilising the squad and the side in preparation to make bigger plans for the future? It's yet to be determined what we're looking at doing moving forward. It'll be an interesting one to see how this pans out. Would you like to sign Joe Allen? Let me know your thoughts and leave your comments below. I can see this one potentially happening. We've been in the market for a player like that. He does come with Premier League experience. Of course, I put the video out yesterday about Fernandes from Benfica, who looks like an exciting, young, interesting player. Sometimes Premier League experience is key in order to offer stability, and that's potentially what we might be doing. So next up for West Ham on the transfer show today is Polish international striker Krzysztof Piatek. The 24-year-old joined Milan from Genoa in January 2019 for around 31 million. The 24-year-old striker was brought to San Siro last winter due to his impressive performance at Genoa. He's a centre-forward who can play as a second striker whenever needed, capable of playing in a two-striker system or as a target man. He's a very valuable asset for any club that he plays for. He is a classical number 9 striker, most efficient inside the opponent's penalty area, courtesy of his excellent positioning, accurate finishing, height, physical strength and tenacity in aerial or physical challenges with opponents. He's a high offensive quality and a huge willingness to help create an attack are the reasons why he's able to produce great numbers so far. During his time in Genoa, Piatek played in a 3-5-2 formation as a main striker, usually on the left, most often supported by his fellow partner striker. A pacey forward with excellent dribbling and passing skills. In Milan, he became a lone striker in a 4-3-3 formation, supported by wingers on each side of the pitch. Around a year ago, he was the darling of AC Milan. Moving from Genoa, the striker hit the ground running and scored 5 goals in his first 4 matches for the club. His figures for the season across both clubs stood at 30 goals in 42 matches. So some of his stats from his time in Italy: over 39 games he's played, scoring 16 goals in all competitions for AC Milan. 21 games, scoring 19 goals in all competitions for Genoa. He averages 2.3 shots per game. He averages 15 passes per game with an 83% successful pass rate. He's also a Polish international, playing 10 games, scoring 5 goals. So of course, with AC Milan re-signing Ibrahimovic, does that mean he'd be edged out of the picture? And could he be a January transfer window signing for West Ham? This season he's only scored 4 goals in about approximately 18 appearances. Whilst that's not disastrous form, have Milan fallen out of love with him? Ibrahimovic's arrival pushes the 24-year-old further out. And for me, I'd like to see him join us, but realistically, can we see it? Not too sure. We could really be doing with someone like Piatek though at the London Stadium. Sebastian Haller struggled to establish himself as the big money signing from Frankfurt, although I do think there's progressive opportunities there moving forward for him. Piatek is a big, strong centre forward and seems ideally built for the robust nature of the Premier League. And Sebastian Haller definitely needs some more competition. So having Haller and AC Milan forward playing up front together would give West Ham an entirely different look at their attacking setup, and defenders would surely not relish coming up against them. I think it's a no-brainer. Most West Ham fans would probably want to see someone like Piatek play and come to West Ham. My concern is, I just think he's going to be given another chance at Milan. Of course, Ibrahimovic is still capable of doing what he can do, and I think he will prove that at AC Milan, although they will still need that young centre forward to come through the ranks and learn, and maybe that's what he'll do. And the rumour is that Milan are potentially interested to see what they can potentially recuperate for Piatek, but are also interested to see if they can make something from it. Short and sweet, make sure you tune in tonight for Stell's weekly roundup. He'll be talking about these players and many more that are linked to West Ham. It'll be interesting to see what we're going to do. Hopefully today we'll see the announcement that Darren Randolph will sign for West Ham for £4 million. Whether or not you agree with it or not, it looks like it's happening. Looks like it's a done deal. Get your comments in below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Get your comments in. Let us know, do you like these shows? Do you like all the shows we are producing for you? And yeah, we'll be back tonight with Stell's weekly roundup. Come on, you irons.